Hey everyone. So I wanted to dive deeper and expand more upon what I talked to you guys about in yesterday's video concerning reversing the aging process, because that is what I do here on this channel, Transform Your Life. I help you come into balance and heal mental, emotional, and physical dis-ease. I give you the tools in order to do that, and if you are thoroughly doing that and thoroughly learning about the dysfunction in our society on a macro cosmic level all the way down to a microcosmic level, and you do the work to shift and pivot and full circle transform out of that dysfunction, you will, in doing so, reverse the aging process as you heal dis-ease, because dis-ease and the aging process is one and the same, like I talked about, like I shared with you guys yesterday. So what I want to say in today's video is that because of all of that, the aging process and dis-ease is happening by way of the law of cause and effect, okay? So this is really exciting when you really start grasping that we have more control and say in what not only happens to us and our bodies when it comes to mental, emotional, and physical dis-ease, but also we have the say in if we want to age or not. Okay, so now this is really big for me to start sharing with everybody, because like I said, this is going to sound far-fetched to a lot of people because they don't have the scientific, social, intellectual, psychological, metaphysical understanding to grasp this right away. This is why study is so important. This is why repetition and constantly being willing to evaluate what you have been socially conditioned to believe, constantly evaluating yourself, constantly being willing to learn from people who are experts in their field, who are getting results, is so incredibly important, you guys, because in order for us to reverse the aging process and heal dis-ease and dysfunction in our lives, we have to be willing to fully, unravel these layers that we have been programmed to believe ever since we were in our mother's womb, right? We are conditioned and socialized to believe so many things as truth, and we are socialized into adopting so many dysfunctional patterns of behavior that is a harm to ourselves and our bodies and everyone around us. So when we take on dysfunctional and unhealthy patterns of behavior that we have been socialized into adopting, right? The aging process and dis-ease happens by way of the law of cause and effect, okay? Because every pattern of behavior has a consequence. And when you understand that your patterns of behavior and the way you're showing up in the world has a consequence, whether that be positive or negative, that's when you can really start to hold yourself accountable and be like, oh my gosh, the way I'm showing up in the world The way I'm thinking, the way I'm believing is not creating a positive impact. And so I remember talking about incentive in a couple videos back, okay, and how we need incentive to do the healing work, to go on a transformational journey. We need to start seeing positive results on our journey in order to maintain motivation, in order to keep going and doing the work, because that happens gradually, little by little, over time, in nuanced ways. Now, what other greater incentive for you to heal if you're going to see yourself reverse age, you guys? What greater incentive can you think of as you're healing, as you're doing the work, than to know that because you're doing this work honestly, authentically, genuinely, that you're gonna reverse age because of that? What greater incentive can you think of, okay? Because if you're genuinely, authentically moving through the world as a good person, you're not doing anything, you're not doing it to get anything out of it in return, okay? That's where the purity of heart comes in, and that is your good dharma for showing up in the world as someone who has purity of heart, and you're dismantling your unhealthy levels of narcissism and healing from your codependency. You are able to have that good dharma come back to you in the form of reverse aging, because you're doing it for the right reasons, not to get anything out of anyone else, okay? And that's how, this is the only way this works, is you have to energetically move into purity of heart. We have to stop looking at other people outside of ourselves in an exploitative way, okay? This is a form of narcissism that I want to talk to you about. In this video, a lot of people meet and approach other people and think instantly, what can I get out of this person? How can I use this person? How can I exploit this person for my own personal gain? Okay, so we have to start removing ourselves from that exploitative, narcissistic mentality and other narcissistic mentalities like it, to start shifting and to start noticing differences in ourselves and what we experience in the world. We have to start valuing having a moral and ethical compass and treat other people with dignity and respect. Just because this is a part of having purity of heart. And having purity of heart is such a key factor when you're looking at and working toward healing mental, emotional, and physical dis-ease and reversing the aging process. You can't show up in the world in the way most people function in this society, and the way this society as a whole functions on its foundation is to be exploitative of other people and any other living sentient being on this planet, okay? We have to start treating other people with love, dignity, and respect. So that's what I want to leave with you today. You know, this is something that a lot of people say that they understand and say that they do, However, it's not who they are at their core, okay? It's not who they are at their core. And there are a lot more layers to reverse aging and healing, but this is what I was called to share with you today. So thank you for listening if you watched all the way to the end, and I hope you have a beautiful day.